Hello, welcome. I'm Rajan Kumar. I teach in School of International Studies, Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. I'll be talking about COVID-19 crisis in India, which was initially very high on lockdown, low on economic social welfare, and also very timid on economic stimulus. So I'll give you the broad overview of how it started in different, how this virus started spreading in different parts of India, what kind of measures, economic as well as health measures, which were taken by the government of India, and how this has impacted the state of India and the people here. So the first few cases of coronavirus were reported by 30th of January in the southern state of Kerala. And for the next 2 months, neither the state nor people took it seriously, and that was a period when it started spreading to different parts of India. It came primarily from the western states, uh, and today's situation is that there are nearly 9.2 million confirmed reported cases in India, out of which an everyday case today on 25th of November is 44,376 cases every day, and this is pretty high. But and if I give you the death figure, so the mortality has reached nearly 134,000 cases by now. But these are the reported and confirmed cases. They do not include the actual number of cases. And some of the experts estimate, and also because some of the surveys which were done by some institutes, that they argue that there are nearly 150 million uh, estimated cases of this virus in India, because many are asymptomatic, and many of the people did not go to hospital. So the actual number is around 135 to 150 million people. And some of the states which faced the maximum number of cases were like Maharashtra with 1.79 million cases, Karnataka with 87,000, nearly 1 million cases, Andhra Pradesh also nearly 1 million cases, then Tamil Nadu with little less than a million cases, and in Delhi there are nearly half a million reported cases by now, and the actual number, as I told you, could be much higher. And there is no sign of flattening of the curve. And very recently, India, this was a period of festival, and lockdown continued for a number of for a few several weeks. But after that, the government started opening up, because the lockdown did not succeed. It succeeded in containing, for some time, but again it started spreading, because the government, the issue came the life, the life versus livelihood, and in that government had to open up different sectors, industrial, agriculture, etc. And as a consequence, and also because of the election took place in different parts of India, and also because of the festival, because this is the season of festival in India, October, November. These are the months where you have the maximum the Hindu festivals. So because of that, the coronavirus crisis has again, it has started picking up in different parts of India, and there is no sign of flattening of the curve. So, as a measure, the government declared the national lockdown. India, as I told you, initially ignored the cases in some parts of India, but later on, the government came very heavily in terms of imposing lockdown, and a nationwide lockdown was declared on 25th of March, and which basically meant that all the activities, all the industries, all the service sector, and most of the industries came to a grinding halt. They stopped any kind of production. The railways, communication, everything practically stopped. Only thing which was allowed was essential commodities like food items, some grocery items, and medicines. So these were the only things which were allowed. Otherwise, transport communication was stopped. The other, the industry, or the other commercial activities, everything practically stopped. It was a national lockdown. National lockdown for such a huge country was a difficult measure, and police was very police came very heavily on imposing lockdown in several parts of India, and the government came under criticism because of those kind of heavy-handedness which were shown by the police in India. And because of this lockdown, a number of the people started facing this crisis. Initially, people thought that this lockdown will continue for just a few weeks, but after 3 weeks, it was extended again for 2 weeks, and again it was extended with some kind of relaxation. It was again extended. So a time came when people started feeling the fatigue, and government also realized that lockdown may not be the most effective strategy in a country like India. And what happened? One of the reasons why this lockdown did not succeed was that the moment this lockdown is imposed, and because we have urban areas like Mumbai, one of the biggest metropolitan cities in India, nearly 30% of the people live in slum, and they survive on a day-to-day basis. They have to earn to survive, and for them, they kind of waited for the first lockdown of 3 weeks. But when this was extended, so people got nervous and they started fleeing the cities and started going back to the rural areas where they had their families, where they thought they could survive. But that led to a massive crisis of the migration of people from urban areas. They started going back to the rural areas, and one of the reasons why this lockdown did not succeed was this migration, because the workers defied the lockdown and they started traveling even without any kind of transport facilities. Some of the people traveled to even thousands of kilometers on road, just walking on the road in the absence of any transport. So this led to a massive exodus of workers from urban areas to rural areas, and that led to kind of the massive spread of also virus to different parts of India. And also the class character also came into play, where the middle class and the upper class people, they managed to survive because they had the savings, they had some facilities coming to in their homes. But the wage earners and the informal workers, they were the ones who suffered the most because of this crisis.